It's here. Note 8. Michael McDaniel Tech. Out of frame. I've been sick for like 4 days. That's why I have such a lovely voice. The box was partially open. Right here. This part here. I've opened this part, but as you can see, I've not fully opened this yet. Okay, in this box, now remember this is from FedEx, which according to their web tracking, shipped my box from Indiana to Portland Saturday evening, and then shipped it back to Memphis, Tennessee Sunday morning at 1:24 a.m. where it sat until it arrived back in Portland again at 6:18 this morning. Now, I did not see that in between leaving Memphis and arriving in Portland, just now in Portland. So it was a very interesting exchange of shipping. It makes me wonder about everything. So in keeping with that, the FedEx guy passed my house about an hour ago and then came back just now and dropped this off. For comparison purposes, we have the the S8 Plus that many of you already know I have, and we'll be comparing this a little bit. I do have some cases already for the Note. I've had them for over a week. We have this blue one because in America you cannot actually get a blue Note for some reason. Although rumor has it that the Samsung people were told by the carriers, the main ones, the Verizons and AT&Ts, etc., they did not want that many choices for their people, too many to track and order. Of this piece of plasticky sort of looking thing here, it's actually pretty durable. Basically it would show through whatever the color of the back of your phone, and it's got some good corners. But what I've experienced with this kind of case, in this case is the Unicorn Beetle, my experience with these kinds of cases in the past has always been they're extremely stiff, and I always feel like they're going to break or scratch my phone taking them on and off. And I'm somebody, as people who know me know, who changes my case a lot. So we'll see about the Unicorn. And then always speaking, I have this case for every single phone I've had for as long as I can remember since they had smartphones. This is just the best all-around case ever. I have this for my S7 Edge, I had this for my S8 Plus, I've had it for my Note 7, and I've had one for my Note 5. They are just the best all-around cases. They're grippable, they're very soft, the little button sides work really well on them. Very good case. Okay, with all of that in mind, and before my voice gives out totally, let's get this puppy open. So I'm going to adjust my camera here a little bit. There we go. Or the viewer. So I have a balloon. On to the next piece. Packing list. No private stuff. Can't see that. Okay. Now. Well, this came with it as well. I have one of these. Someone else I know will end up with this. And now, the moment of truth. So the basic box, it's very cool. And this is the exact same box basically that has come out on every Samsung I've gotten for the last 4 years, by and large. Except none of them actually, said Note 8 on them. And there we are. The phone that I've been waiting for a year, since they pried my Note 7 out of my hands, and I was not dead, obviously, at the time. Note 8, the distinguishing feature. S Pen. Oh, I've missed this. These things are magical. They are not simply a stylus. They are the best things ever. Alright, let's pull that off because it seems to want to reveal a lot of information. Now this Note 8 is pretty cool, and I'll tell you why. This is the first unlocked phone I've had other than my brief encounter with the Pixel earlier this year. And that didn't last long. The Pixel is a great phone, but it's not the kind of phone that I love. I am a big user of bells and whistles and shiny and all that, and that's something that I find a lot more with a Samsung, especially the Note, than the Pixel. The Pixel was very solid, very good. I don't really have a lot of complaints about it, but it just wasn't. I was bored. That's the bottom line. Okay, so I'm going to set this puppy aside here. Here, let's set it aside in its case. The blue one. Okay, that's not too bad. That's kind of pretty. I do have one of the Samsung-made S-View cases on its way, but for some reason, even though it was released on the 10th and I have Prime shipping, it was not going to arrive here till Friday the 15th. That's fine. But so basically, this is on its way as well. Most phones, if I can get a case I really like, I get it for the next phone as well. I was amazed how much I liked this case. I never really thought much about these. I thought this thing was kind of silly, and I absolutely love it. No screen protector necessary. Works great. These other cases will require me to obviously take great care in using my case or my phone and not to scratch up the screen without a screen protector. Even though it is Gorilla Glass 5, I already know that can be scratched. Excuse me. Yes, still sick. Alright, in the box. I'm just going to do this really quickly because there are 933, at last count, unboxing videos for this phone. None of my friends so far probably are watching all that many of them, but that's okay. We have this puppy here. This is the SIM card removal tool. I'll be popping the SIM card out of the S8 Plus, and then you've got documentation in there. No one reads it. Power strip. You've got a little converter plug here to convert from micro USB. Oh no, that's actually from USB to USB Type-C, which is the newer charging format for Samsung. Some other cables here to transfer. I'll be hooking my old phone to the new one and basically just transferring straight across information. The headphones that are actually pretty decent headphones in here, the AKGs. They are a step up from the headphones that came in the old white ones, the earbuds. To be honest with you though, those rounded, softer tip earbuds, they felt a lot better in my ear. These things kind of just hang in there loosely. They don't really fit well even when you swap out the ear tips. At least my experience has been that. And tips for, and then a grabber for the point on the S Pen. So really, the bottom line is that I'm going to just do a quick little experiment here. I'm going to fire up this phone here for you. It's going to have a little basic charge. Give you a little bit of a comparison. This is really a similar phone in a lot of ways. What a lot of people want to know is, what are the differences? Well, the Note's bigger. The Note's always bigger. Barely bigger though. 6.3 inches versus 6.2 on the S8 Plus. But more square. I really like that. You can see the screen size, barely bigger. A little more square. Great phones. That S8 Plus is a fantastic phone, and if you don't care about an S Pen, I would go for that because that phone's going for as low as $550 right now. This phone, not that cheap. But the only thing about it is, this phone here, S Pen, because that S Pen does magical things. And I will show you, once I get Android set up, get my phone up and running, I'll do a little video with that. But you can go again, anywhere, look this up. You can see a lot. Just go Samsung demonstration. You can see what it looks like. I've posted that anyway. But here's the thing. The S Pen is unlike any stylus. It's not like the writing utensils for a Windows computer. It's something very different. It has its own software. It's super useful. If you spend any time and learn to use it, it really makes sense. And once you figure it out, it is, again, magical. I don't want to overstate that, but it is great. Alright, good enough. Unboxing done. I'm out. It's here. I'm going to go mess with it now. That's what I'm going to do the rest of the evening. Ciao.